Hey everyone, on December the 14th at 12 through 3:30 p.m., I will be speaking at the 4th Annual Women Conference held by Melody Moody. I spoke at the second conference and it was talking about walking into your destiny. And throughout that year, tell me, I was walking every which way. Like, I had a vision of where I was supposed to be going, but I really didn't know how I was going to get there. Like, God told me that I was going to go back to school, I was going to get an apartment, I was going to get married. And this is all just physical things, tangible things that you can feel, that you can touch, that you can see with your visible eyes, but also about who I was becoming on the inside. And how I was ready to live out the gospel, how I was ready to share the gospel, how I was ready to embody it, to look more like him. And so in 2020, I was just, still hoping to see what he saw. And so I was walking into my destiny. In 2023, after the conference, I was able to see what God was preparing me for in 2022. He had to work the word within me. So I ended up speaking from Lamentations, talking about repentance and restoration and just what was going on in 22. And so in 23, I ended up moving to a different town, starting school, getting my own apartment, starting at a different job. And then in 2024, getting married to the person that I began dating in 23. And so the Lord began to work out what he spoke concerning that conference within me. And now the 4th annual conference is this year, 2024, and you shouldn't miss it because we're talking about pressing into the presence of God. And I have found myself all of 300, we haven't made the whole 365 days yet, but I have found myself throughout this year really pressing into the presence of God. Whether it was in times of joy or in times of sorrow or in times of confusion or in times of clarity or just becoming close and more intimate with God, knowing him more for myself. I have found myself experiencing him in lights that I haven't seen him in, knowing him in ways that I haven't known him before. And so I believe that coming to this conference, that we will really get to embrace and see how God has allowed us to press into his presence throughout this year. And so I invite you to come out to Tyler, Texas, December the 14th for 12 o'clock p.m. through 3:30 p.m. until the Lord releases us to press in his presence together. You are invited. Please do bring a friend.